Thank you very much for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Today's tournament is going to be a round that I played at the Phoenix City Am for Papago Golf Course. It's where the ASU team practices, and this is obviously a very difficult golf course. And today the wind is going to be blowing about 15-20 miles an hour. Also, we're going to be focusing on the Tiger 5. These are the most important fundamentals, I think, when you're playing around with golf to make sure that we can keep a track on how well we're doing throughout the round. So without further ado, we're starting off here with a pretty decently long par 5 at 544 yards. Let's get it started. Right, meow. Hang on. Hang on. Put a pretty solid strike on it, but just ended up leaking this one just out to the right, and there's a lot of fairway left, and I had no business landing in this desert. Was able to punch this thing out and get it into a pretty good, decent spot into the middle of the fairway, so I was happy with this result here, even though I scuffed up the bottom of my 7-iron pretty badly.
Okay, good.
This shot was pretty interesting. The wind was really howling, and I hit this what I thought was so far left that it would have missed the green, but it turns out it was so dry, and this green slopes down so much, this ball actually almost rolled into the water. And pretty much every single one of my playing partners and competitors on this hole, we all ended up either in the water or just on that right edge because this green was very baked, and there was just no way to stop this ball if you landed it on the green. Always frustrating to start off a round with a bogey, but you know, considering the conditions, I think I did pretty well to get out of here with a 6, considering most people probably made 7 or 8. On to this next hole, dead into wind, 350 yards. Put a pretty good strike on the ball, but I probably just spun it up a little bit into the wind, and I think I'm gonna have, if I remember correctly, I had about 100 or so yards left in with a nice little gap wedge here.
Nope. Just pulled it and drew it.
And I just pulled this one a little bit left and short of the green because it just didn't read the wind white, so got to get myself up and down here.
It's 4.
Absolutely no excuse for this here. Just lost
Kenny,
my
what is
focus
that?
and not paying attention on this swing and just absolutely hit it off the bottom of the heel. Again, made a very poor decision here. Should have just chipped it out, but hit it with a little bit too much club and ended up putting this ball back in the other side of the desert. Fortunately, I was able to put a pretty good contact on this one and get this ball up to the green and close by the flag and give myself an opportunity to try to get out of here with a par. Unfortunately, I missed the putt, but given that this is the hardest index hole on the course, making a bogey here isn't the worst thing. I did a little swing tracer here just to show everybody that you don't have to have your best game to play good golf. I've been playing with a pretty wipey fade, and that's all I have for that day. Leaked this one out to the right. I thought that because the greens were really baked that this was going to release really close down to the hole. I hit it where I should have hit it, but it just didn't quite get there. Unfortunately, left myself with too long of a putt. And of course, this is one of the Tiger 5s. No missing easy saves. This is a spot where you should easily be able to get up and down from on most greens. On to 371 par 4. Absolutely smoked this 4-iron straight up into the wind. This is dead into, and on this hole, this wind was really messing with me. I absolutely just misjudged it and sent this thing completely long. Fortunately, there was a little bit of room behind this green. I thought long was really dead.
Oh, that's got to be something.
Was able to chip it up there to a spot that I wasn't really happy with, but at the end of the day, if you're going to miss a green that bad, walking out of here with a bogey is not the worst, but as our Tiger 5 says, we shouldn't be making bogeys from inside of 150 yards, and that was definitely not a hole that I was expecting to make a bogey on. Had about 150 yards in with an 8-iron here. Pretty good solid contact. Just hit it to the right side of the center of the green, just a little bit right of the flag. Pretty long 2-putt here, but I nuzzled this one right up to the hole. Nice little lag. Again, ending a bad streak of bogeys with a nice little par here.
It's a 4.
Started to find a groove here and was able to just keep the face matched up and hit some solid drives. Hit a pretty good ball on this one. Had a short 9-iron into this hole. Hit it a little bit left, and I thought it was going to miss the green, but it actually ended up turning out to be a pretty good shot when I got up to the hole.
I will take that.
And almost ended up getting this one in the hole for bird. Just left it right in the lip of the cup, but at the end of the day, the par on this hole, again, not a bad score.
That's a 4.
There's one thing Papago is known for. It's long par 3s, and yet again, we got another 206-yard par 3 here. Fortunately, this one was a little bit downwind. I was able to hit the green, and I absolutely misread this putt. I don't know what I was thinking. Blew it way past the hole and didn't get it anywhere near close. And fortunately, I was able to get up here and get this bad boy in to save par.
That's huge. Keeping these pars on the scorecard. Thank you.
Papago actually underwent a renovation on the 10th or 9th hole and the 10th hole. I didn't actually know what this hole looked like, and in hindsight, I should not have hit this 5-wood because it barely covered a hazard. The way I played this course before, I thought I could easily reach the green. Not the case. As you can see, I ended up short and almost into a hazard. Fortunately, found the ball, was able to get it up onto the green and give ourselves a look at a possible chance to make a birdie.
Give it a little more juice, Kenny.
Overall, not too bad of a start to the front 9. Obviously, we got off to a really rocky start, but was able to turn it around and put some nice pars on the scorecard.
And the desert again.
Excuse my language there, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, golf is very frustrating, and I was tired of hitting wipes out into the desert, but no excuse. Try to keep it clean out there on the course. Hit a recovery shot here, caught it a little fat, but ended up getting it right back to the fairway. And it was just a simple wedge in here into the green. Pulled it just a little bit left, but I was able to get it on the green. And from there, it was a pretty simple, straightforward 2-putt. Sorry, YouTubers. I tried to do my best with this one. I didn't realize that I was having camera issues because of how hot it was. Apparently, GoPros do shut down when it's 110 plus degrees. I normally keep a towel over the camera just to keep it cool, so I'll make sure to be aware of that moving forward as I'm out here filming tournaments. You know, you got a GoPro in the sun for, 3+ hours. It's unfortunately just going to overheat. This hole is definitely not driver. I was able to get away with it, but it's just way too narrow up there, and, fortunately, I was able to get away from it. This hole's probably a 4-iron or something like that, but I had a wedge in here. I was able to throw it deep, but it landed right on the flag, but obviously coming out of this thick of rough, it just released way far behind the hole and left myself with a pretty long putt that I almost made and thought I got it into the hole, but just died ever so short of it. Kind of, that seems to be the case of today, of just leaving putts just right in the lip.
Oh, that's leaked.
Yeah, trying to keep it in control out there, but again, even if I know that's what I'm hitting today, it's still very frustrating to hit those shots on holes where that ball could be dead, and exactly what I expected. I was stuck under this bush and tried to chip it out and just ended up leaving this thing in a much worse place. Like, I just don't understand what I was thinking here. Fortunately, I put a really good strike on the ball and was able to get this thing very, very, very close to the hole.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
And give myself an opportunity to save par.
4.
I was not going to leak this shot and definitely did everything I could to turn it over, and that is exactly what happened.
Why do you want to go over there?
Hit this one left of the fairway into pretty much the other side of the fairway, and because I was on this awkward lie, I just, again, wiped it and just didn't quite get it where I wanted to and left it, fortunately, short of the bunker, but just in a very difficult place to get up and down. Even though I was in a tough spot, I actually hit a pretty good chip to about, I want to say maybe 8, 9-ish feet here, but just wasn't able to convert that, and unfortunately put my first bogey on the card for the back 9.
5.
On the back 9, you got a lot of desert right, so I just aimed these all left and just pretty much closed the face to just turn it over. I just really couldn't afford to lose balls back on the right, and you just got to kind of play with what you have.
I honestly don't know which direction this hole goes.
Ended up getting a pretty decent lie, and I absolutely roasted this 3-wood. Like, this was probably one of the best shots I've ever hit with a 3-wood off of that lie. Ended up getting it up here, green side bunker. put a really good shot on this thing and got it to about 6, 7 feet and really had a good look at a birdie opportunity here.
Come on, Kenny, you got to get it there. What's the point of having line if you're not going to hit it at the right pace?
I'm kind of laughing at myself because given how badly I'm striking the ball, the scores that I'm putting up are nowhere near justified for me to be that frustrated. But I get it. Golf's a tough sport. I show this to be as honest and as transparent about my emotions. And this next shot is 100% a lack of trust and a lack of commitment. I was between two clubs and just did not pick a committed shot. And that's what happens when you're not committed to the process.
Oh, that thing can just fat it. Kenny, what was that?
Had a pretty basic chip there and obviously hit it pretty solid. I got it maybe about 10, 12 feet under the hole from about maybe 40 or so yards. Put a really good roll on this one. I feel like I was reading the greens really well today and just really well that day and just wasn't able to convert or save as many of these par saves as I would have liked to. Like I said before, Papago is known for its very long par threes. I towed this 4-iron. It was a little downwind, and I probably should have went with the 5-wood if I was being honest, but I think ego and me didn't want to pull 5-wood. Ended up leaving this short and just didn't quite hit it with enough force to get it to the hole.
Throw it a little further, Kenny.
And that left me with a really, really long putt. And fortunately, I was able to get this thing close to the hole, but still left myself with a pretty long, about 4-foot knee knocker to get out of here with a bogey.
I'll take that 4.
Bringing it home on the final stretch, put my last good swing of the day, and obviously hit this on a straight bullet arrow. I was following it because I was seeing if it was going to go into the bunker, and it did, and I hit an absolutely amazing shot out of this bunker.
Go. Go. Oh, that's a shot. That's a shot.
Was able to get it up there, probably with inside about 10, 12 feet, and my last putt of the day, was I going to make it? Nope, I just misread the break in the last bit of the hole, but a 2-putt par here to finish with a 39 on the back is not a bad way to end. Overall, was able to get out of there with a 79, 40 on the front, 39 on the back. I had a pretty solid round considering all of the, mishaps that could have gone on. No 3-putts on the card, no doubles, but definitely made a lot of bogeys from inside of 150 and could have definitely done a lot better with the up and down. Overall, hitting a decent amount of greens, but again, going to continue to work on that putting. But it was a pretty good tournament day, and I'm very happy with the results given how tough the conditions were. So that's all I have for you. As always, thank you very much for watching my YouTube channel. Deuces, people. Let's keep it moving.